Hey everybody, it's Tiger here for another short tutorial video. As you can see, it's going to be a knitting video today. And I'm going to be showing you a slightly more complicated increase, but despite it being slightly more complicated, it does give a nicer look than some of the other increases I've shown you, such as the make one and the yarn over. With the make one and yarn over, I find that they leave a bit of a gap, especially the yarn over. It leaves an actual hole in the knit. But with this one, it makes the yarn, the entire knit project, look more solid. And it's only difficult the first few times you do it. Once you get used to it, it's very easy. And I'm using it on a stockinette stitch just because it's easier to figure out where the increases are going. Since it will be done as knit, I recommend using stockinette, or if you choose garter, that would also work. So as you can see, I've cast on 5 stitches here, and I've done a few rows in the stockinette, and this is where we are going to do our increase. To do this, you take your working needle, which is the one in your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I knit this way. And we're going to take the needle under the first stitch, just as a regular knit. So we're going to take the working yarn behind the needle, and then we're going to bring it forward, but we're not going to take it off. We're going to leave it on. And I'm going to flip my needles over to show you how this is going to look. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically create another stitch. So we're taking the needle again behind the non-working needle, so that's this one here, and you're going to take it under that first stitch in the back. So we've knitted the front, now we're knitting the back, and now we can bring it back forward and slide it off the needle. So we've just created 2 stitches. So underneath the working stitch, as if you were just doing a regular knit, bring the tail around, and you work this as a regular stitch up until the point of here. We're not going to take it off the needle. And bring it back around underneath the back of that stitch. I'm just showing you from the top as it would appear while you're looking at it. So it's in the back of the stitch, as you can see here, and we're going to knit it again and bring it off the needle. Now we have 4 stitches, and as you can see, once you get the hang of it, it does come along quite easily. It's only giving me a little bit of trouble today because I'm using new needles, and I'm actually not looking at my knitting as I'm doing it, I'm looking at my camera screen. So I'm basically doing this without actually seeing what I'm doing. I just dropped that stitch, so I'm going to find it again. Actually, I'm just going to leave that as a single stitch, just because it was not easy to find. Okay. And then you would just carry on knitting as you normally would. And you can see here, I started with 10 stitches, which are these up until this point. And then these are the increased stitches. So I went from having 10 stitches to 20. And as you can see, the increases, it makes it look a lot more of a solid piece as opposed to doing like a make one. This is, the more you do this, so if you go from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, no, 10 to 40 to 80, I'm great at math, aren't I? It will begin to turn in like this, which is why I say that this is good for doing balls or doing a top-down hat. It would also be if you were to alternate between the increase in a regular stitch, say knit one front and back, and then just knit one front and back, knit one, doing it like that. It will give you a more gradual increase that I would recommend using for shawls. Ones that are curved or pointed would be really good with this stitch. And once you get the hang of it, it becomes a lot easier, especially if you're actually looking at your knitting instead of just looking at the camera. And this is something that I will hopefully be showing you in the future, of how to create a full ball with the decreases that usually go with this type of stitch in a future video. And because that is actually something that I have a project that I'm working on that uses that, and to show you that full project I'll have to show you both of those stitches to make sure that you can follow along if you want to make it. And that's everything for today. I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you enjoy the video. Be sure to subscribe below and check me out on Patreon. I'll be including the link below. Okay, talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.